It's just when you piss off the white liberals, they tend to snap and go, like, they tend to go to racial slurs when they snap. Okay, so the last 4 days of news have been, very interesting, definitely not boring. But, of course, everybody's already heard about what's going on with the Supreme Court. Now, listen, I don't talk about abortion much on this channel, mainly because it's a discussion I'm absolutely tired of. I've argued it to death, and I've heard every pro-choice argument, and I haven't heard a good one yet. They all boil down to basically the same couple things of just like materialism, I don't care, or eugenics, something along those lines. So it's just something I'm sick of arguing. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna touch it. However, the interesting response was Clarence Thomas had the best take. I think everyone agrees with that, at least if you're considered right wing, either socially or politically. Of course, when the white liberals read what he said, they decided to take the mask off because, and this is a tactic I have used when I used to discuss things with white liberals, is you make them mad enough or you give them an honest stance, it comes out. I've already said this, and you know, I'll get into this with black conservatives. Many black conservatives will disagree, but I've always said that the neo-lib, the shit-lib establishment type white people are probably the most racist group I've ever spoken to. They just like to dress it up a little more, you know what I mean? The right will just say it, the left tries to dress it up, but if you piss them off enough, it will come out, and you realize, yo, you're both the same. It just goes back to what Malcolm X warned us about like 60 years ago. He predicted all of this. He's like, yo, they're the same, just one will try to dress it up and make it a little nicer. And as you can see, which we will go over, as soon as you take a stance that I think most black people agree with, right or left, but doesn't go along with what the white liberals tell you to say, you get yeeted. As you can see here. So let me go over the first one. There's a couple of them. But the first one is, in case anyone wants to claim I'm a racist for calling out Clarence Thomas for the Uncle Tom that he most certainly is, Thomas is making it clear how much he hates gay rights, and it sounds pretty bigoted to me. Now, what he's referring to is Clarence Thomas said, hey, let's go back and review some of the other Supreme Court cases regarding gay marriage and sodomy laws, and about giving that back to the states. Now, as far as, you know, like I said, with the gay marriage case, Clarence Thomas took a stance most black people who are very socially conservative agree with. And you see what happens when you take a stance the majority of that community agrees with, but white liberals don't like. Because remember, all this alphabet shit, all these alphabet parades, all this nonsense, this is happening in white areas, and when you look out, it's vast majority white people. Because some of the stuff you're seeing, like dudes getting naked, just going in the street in front of kids, if you did that in, like, I don't even say black neighborhoods, minority neighborhoods, you know what happens if you do that? That's what's gonna happen. Because this goes back to what I said about on other videos when I want to talk about, if you want to be a prominent black voice on left or right, you have to take certain positions that are antithetical to what, you know, the majority of people in that group agree or disagree with. Because if you want to be, you know, on MSNBC all the time, if you want to be a black face on MSNBC all the time, you better believe you're going to come out and be all super pro-alphabet, right? Because if you go against that stance and go with what most black people agree with, which is like, I don't think we should be promoting this or encouraging it, get out, right? They'll yeet you. Just like on the right, as soon as you come on and go, hey, these anti-black talking points y'all have about fathers and crimes, we should break these down and sort of refute some of these, because some of these aren't accurate. Out. You're out too. It's just when you piss off the white liberals, they tend to snap and go, like, they tend to go to racial slurs when they snap. The right, what they'll do is get as close as possible to it without saying it. If you need an example of that, you can look at my Andrew Klavan versus Tim Pool on Black Culture video. That's an example of what I'm talking about, call us the hard R without calling us the hard R, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'll read the rest just for the sake of being thorough. How screwed up is it, Clarence Thomas' interpretation of the Constitution's original intent and U.S. law, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson would have had him picking cotton on their plantations. He wouldn't get anywhere near the Supreme Court except to clean the toilets. How is that an argument? How is this anyway? Because like I said, he's mad about the re-examining of gay marriage. What does this have to do with anything? See, this is the cultural imperialism white liberals love to do. It's sort of like the Latinx thing. Sort of like how I've been saying. They've been trying to groom black areas to start promoting this alphabet stuff, and it hasn't been working. Because he doesn't seem to be that mad about Roe. He seems to be mad about him wanting to go look at other stuff. Because that's what makes him mad. And now we'll go to the most viral one that everyone saw. Now this one, there was no shame with this chick. Yeah, the women, the white liberal women, oh, they'll go hard. They go harder than the dudes do. So, let me read it. Doesn't this hard R realize his rights are next? This is what they do when you start doing things they don't like. I remember, I brought up a couple times, when I got an argument with one of these, like, obnoxious, snooty white liberals, and I told him, yo, Democrats hate black people, don't vote for them. They have nothing but contempt for you and they won't do anything for you. I didn't say vote Republican, because they'll openly say, we don't care about your issues, we're not going to do anything about it. They'll just say that. And the dude goes on to tell me and my other black friend that we're race traitors. And I told him, do you not see anything wrong with the rich white boy who lives nowhere near, the inner cities to tell, to tell two black people, hey, this is what you need to do because this is what's good for you? I'm sorry, last time we requested something from Democrats, it was, let's look at some police reform and qualified immunity, and you get a George Floyd statue. And then they'll say, you need to vote for that because that's what's good for you. They ain't doing anything. They're just, that was one of the most disrespectful things I've seen from them. I've always advocated, unless you get an offer, don't vote. Why would I vote for someone if you have nothing to offer me? And then she pulls, after she gets called out, then she pulls this is just how pissed off I am. Drop the N-word and people react. I'm not racist. I'm just making a point. Oh, now it's just, I'm just emotional and trying to make a point. Is this not the, equivalent of the right of, those are just the numbers, or it's just a joke, bro? Because this is the same thing they do. Like, yeah, I just called a black man the hard R, but you just need to understand, I'm making a point because I'm so angry. Sure, girl, you mad you got called out. Because like I said, all these guys, it's all about BLM and I hate the term, people of color, and uplifting their voices. And then once you realize, hey, white liberals, what you want culturally is not what we want culturally. It is not what we promote culturally. Take that away. We don't want it. And then all of a sudden, you get stuff like this. Right? Like the example I always love to give. Uplift black voices. Look, in New York, we put Black Lives Matter on the street. We put Black Lives Matter signs up. And then BLM came out and was like, we don't want vax mandates. And then all of a sudden, they were far right. Because some Trump people showed up to protest it with them. And then magically, they became far right. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm sure there's gonna be more of this. But I'm just pointing out, this is how they talk behind closed doors. Right? They don't give a fuck about you. They see you. This is how they mostly see you. They see them as their political prop, and they project their cultural values onto us. And then when we say no, they'll throw out the slurs. They'll talk down to you. They'll tell you you're stupid. They'll tell you don't know what's good for you. So, white liberals, y'all can go live in your degeneracy, and we'll worry about us, okay? Alright, cool.